Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you are of any race, particularly white, and you say that you understand that the death of George Floyd was heinous, malicious, vicious, it was evil, unnecessary, but then quickly shift the energy or the narrative to Tarjay, you don't understand. You don't get it. You don't get it. You know, I don't care what your credentials are. I don't care what your resume says. I don't care what profession you in. I don't care how many black friends you have. I don't care where you spent the weekend or spent a couple of weeks. I don't care, you know, if you was a part of some sort of community initiative, you were helping the less fortunate, and everybody who was less fortunate just so happened to be black, and you came week after week and you served mashed potatoes to the, nope. There's no way you get it. No way you get it. Nah. And what happens is there's no way you can truly understand our history and all of the watershed moments that have led up to this one, but then quickly shift the narrative to Tarjay. A lot of people want to shift the narrative because they want to protect their innocence. There's a concept of dualism, right? Where you really believe that you're separate from the people and the history and what they've done. Like, you really want to believe that you're not connected. Listen, black folks who make bad decisions and act out in crazy ways, I'm connected to that. I'm connected to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it, but I'm connected to it. But it's my responsibility to do the right thing. It's my responsibility to be ethical, to be just, to be legal, you know what I'm saying, to be moral, and do the right thing to either balance that craziness out or to cancel it out with my higher level of living and my higher standard and being better. Right? And it's the same, it goes the same way. So here these white folks have had this history of doing craziness to black folks and others, but you may not be doing it, you know, actively with your hands, but you're part of that narrative. But people don't want to address that. So what they want to do is they want to protect their innocence and quickly go from, yeah, that was crazy, they killed that guy, but did you see what they did to that target? Oh my gosh. They want to protect their innocence. And what happens is when you're doing that, you become one of two people. You're one of two people. Either you are directly connected to fueling the engine that empowers the value gap, or you're complicit. You're complicit in fueling the engine that empowers the value gap. And the value gap is a concept by Dr. Eddie Glaude that says white people are valued more than black people. White people are valued more than black people. So with that being said, black people are expendable. We can treat them unfairly. We can do certain things to them because their value is less. It's as simple as that. But a lot of people don't want to admit that, right? So they want to quickly shift this conversation of race to Tarjay. And so you can't tell me that you truly understand this whole thing, but you want to talk about Tarjay, because listen, I'm not justifying the behavior, but I understand it. I'm not justifying the behavior. I'm not condoning the behavior. I would never do that, but I understand it. Just like Denzel and John Q, this brother's like, listen, man, my son's sick. We raised all this money from the community to get this cancer medicine. I can't afford it. I'm about to run up in this hospital. I'm about to hold everybody hostage to y'all give my son the proper medicine that he needs so I can save his life. You're not condoning the behavior. You're not justifying it, but you understand it. You understand that sometimes it's like for death. Sometimes it's like, listen, man, I can't do the right thing anymore. I got to do the thing that's the most effective. I got to do the thing that's the most outstanding and radical so I can get the response that I need, right? So listen, if you out there and you're having a conversation, and you started off with, yeah, I saw what they did to George Floyd. It was this, that, and the third. It was terrible. And then you shift the narrative to Tarjay, man, there's no way you understand. And it's disrespectful to even end the conversation with what we did to Tarjay. Simply, this is it. If you say you understand, you're done. Once you say you understand what took place and why it's wrong and our history's, our country's history, once you understand that, you can be done with the conversation. Now we can sit with that understanding. And now we can come up with some solutions and fix things. We can come up with some solutions and we can fix things. But the second that you shift the narrative to something else, now we're having a different conversation. Now we're not talking about the source. Now we're not talking about the essence. We're not talking about the essence of what led to the brother's death and many others. So if you stand with me, if you stand with black folks, if you stand with what's right, then you know, just have this next time you end up in a conversation with somebody else and they talking crazy and they talking foolish and they want to talk about the looting, bring the conversation back to the essence. Bring the conversation back to the essence. That's all I'm asking. And that's how you can be, as a white person, that's how you can stand with black folks. Just bring the conversation back to the essence. You see what they did to Tarjay? Man, they killed that dude, 4 of them guys. Man, you see what they did to the hardware store, but man, you see those guys kill that guy in broad daylight. Just bring it back to the essence. And don't let the conversation deviate from that. Now, if we friends and you don't like my message, it's cool. Let me know in a peaceful manner so that I make sure that I never ever deal with you ever again. But if you do deal with me and you get an opportunity, you don't need to be running up on people and starting a conversation. But if you having a conversation, right, with family, with friends, right, or just in passing, and you have an opportunity to say, hey, let's not deviate from the source. Let's not deviate from the essence. I'm asking you to stand with me and take care of that. You know what I'm saying? That goes a long way. If you understand, just stop at the understanding and let's create solutions. Marv Fox Jr. They say the goodness of life comes to those who believe. I believe. Done.